The trees are speaking Vietnamese! Hey, I heard you guys got oil. Need to be taller. Yeah, we're gonna need a bigger camera. The gun is taking all of the focus. So today we have here another one of the guns from my airsoft collection. This is gonna be kind of like a dual video. We're gonna do a review as to what the gun originally was and just kind of talk about what I've turned it into and just kind of pray like that it lasts or something. So what you're looking at is the amalgamation of a Valken ASL. For those of you who know Valken as an airsoft company, they're best known for their LiPo batteries. They do make guns. That's what we're here to talk about today, because outside of MK Airsoft, like my local field, I haven't seen anybody running a Valken besides the rentals. I was duped into buying one because I was like, well, if they use it for the rentals, it must be good, right? Come to think that maybe as a retailer, they have special brand deals with Valken that makes their guns cheaper, and that's why they run them as rentals over like a Lancer Tactical per se. This is my oldest, well, not technically my oldest airsoft gun, but the oldest, I'd say, gun I've used seriously or competitively in games. Unfortunately, by the time I had purchased a GoPro, that's like way after this gun already started having problems. But on the bright side is, if you were to look into getting a Valken, you'll know how it holds up in the longevity, in the long run. This gun is 3 years old, like I said, the internals are 3 years old. So you know what you're getting into, instead of just like a, oh, this is a cool gun, I pulled it out of the box, oh, it shoots good, yes, I recommend this gun. Like, yeah, but have you beat it up? Have you abused it? Do you know how the gun functions overall? I mean, anybody can open a gun out of a box and it shoots good and they can give a 5-star review. It's actually seeing the gun go the mile, seeing the gun go as far as it possibly can go to understand truly if it's worth a purchase. We started with our first airsoft review with the Snow Wolf AUG, which is 2 years old. Loosely, it's more towards 3 years old, because I bought this gun and then shortly after bought the AUG. So the AUG is skimming on 3 years. 2 years and 9 months old compared to this Valken, which is 3 years old. A good, control variable. Both guns I've owned just as long, and for the while they were my only two guns to use at the field. So I did beat the shit out of them. If you want to check out the AUG review, we'll have a thing here. Yeah, link will be in the description for the AUG video too. Both guns got equal play out of them and equal abuse. It's not looking good for the Valken. Before we get into what I've got going on here, let's just talk about the Valken ASL itself. Now this gun, normally I plan to open these things up to see how they break down. It's a standard M4 breakdown. It's nothing fancy, nothing new, so I don't feel the need to do a review of breaking this gun down for cleaning and everything. You should all know how to clean an M4 by now. But if not, I guess I could make a YouTube short on how to open up an M4 and clean it some other time. Internals, it's a standard version 2 gearbox, all metal, obviously. It's not the original factory barrel on there, obviously. I'm going to be showing photos of the Valkens throughout the video, just so you kind of get the idea. But they're all generally the same build quality, just different external pieces, which is why I'm going to loop them all in the same review, because they literally have the exact same internals amongst all of them. Beating a dead horse with my statement, I've had this gun for 3 years. It has not been holding up well at all. Getting regular use, we're talking 1 to 2 times a week, 5 to 8 hours, 10 hours a week getting the use out of it, which if you're very passionate about airsoft, you're going to be going at least 5 to 10 hours a week playing. People who are really big in the hobby play more. Heck, some of the people over at MK Airsoft that I hang with, that I talk to when I'm there, they stay the night in the parking lot and sleep in their cars. Or some of them are like, they work for the company and they literally find places to sleep on the field and spend the night, spend the whole weekend at the airsoft field, So if you're into the hobby, you're obviously not going to buy this gun. If you've been in the hobby, you're probably don't have any desire to buy this gun either. If you're a new player, I'm here to explain to you why you shouldn't buy this gun. I know the $170 price tag is very enticing and it catches your fancy, but at that price tag you can buy other brands that specialize in making the guns. Like, don't get me wrong, like Valken, they make guns, yes, but it is not the main bulk of their business. They're more of a airsoft batteries and accessory company that just so happens to also make guns, whereas Lancer Tactical is an airsoft gun company that just so happens to make batteries and accessories, if that makes sense. The main focus of Valken is not their gun ingenuity, which, I mean, every advertisement, every, company endorsed review on a product is going to say that they engineered it really well. This is very anti-user friendly. Features on the gun, as far as they go, is ambidextrous selector switch, and you would be like, you just said it was anti-user friendly. We'll get into that, but features that are user-friendly are the ambidextrous switch, ambidextrous mag release. It has the hop-up adjustment standard through the bolt release, but I'm not going to mess with it because I actually have an aftermarket hop-up in this. Now we're going to get into the cons since we're on the hop-up. One big con, the reason I have an aftermarket hop-up in this is not because I wanted to upgrade this gun. It's because the original hop-up exploded. Yeah. The stock hop, the plastic hop-up that Valken makes, or whoever makes the part for their hop-up that goes into this gun, exploded. Granted, it took a year and a half of gameplay to explode. I remember that when it did fall apart, I was at the field and just shooting, and the BBs were just dive bombing to the ground. As soon as you pull the trigger, they go like 10-15 feet, and then boom. Not a big deal since MK Airsoft is all CQB. I was still able to get a lot of play out of it just for using an M4 platform. It was either this, have the BBs boop, or carry the heavy-ass AUG. So sometimes I would pick this over the AUG. But again, engagements, CQB, big range doesn't really matter. It was something that was weighing on my conscience that I knew something wasn't right. So when I took it apart, sure enough, the hop-up just crumbled into pieces when I pulled the upper receiver off the lower receiver. Yikes. That should never happen. So I then upgraded the hop-up, and then I decided, why not throw a motor upgrade in here? So I threw in an aftermarket motor. There's a Matrix balance motor. It's a high torque, high speed motor. And I don't know if it's the mounting on the pistol grip, the base plate on the pistol grip, where you adjust your motor height, is plastic. The threads on that are plastic threads. I know Lancer Tactical and stuff like G&G, they make their base plates either out of metal, or if they are out of plastic, the threads that go into the plastic part have metal threads. The threads on this Valken, and all Valkens alike, are plastic. So when I go to adjust the motor height now, the whole base plate just bends because the threads aren't holding in place, so they're just kind of going in and out. And if the base plate was metal and the threads were metal for the screws, that wouldn't be happening. Now it's got a really whiny noise. And that's because the motor isn't seated properly. On a normal airsoft gun, this is no issue. You can just adjust the motor to solve that and have a motor be seated properly, and it'll get rid of that whiny, grindy noise. Okay, well, why don't you just put in a different pistol grip? Problem solved. You see, the issue is, and why I was saying the Valken isn't user-friendly, is they're machined. I don't know if that's the correct way of wording this, but other branded pistol grips don't seat properly on the lower receiver housing. I tried, trust me. I have a bunch of extra M4 style pistol grips, so I tried to swap them out to prevent, all this from being an issue, so I can actually adjust the motor height. And it just didn't fit. And if anything, I had to adjust the motor height even more, and some of it wouldn't reach. So you would slide on, it would look like it's all flush. It looks like it's all flush from the outside, but internally, the motor still isn't seated up, so you have to adjust the motor placement further, and then eventually you run out of threads, and it's still not connecting with the gearbox. I don't know why. It's almost like they don't want you to mod the guns with anything besides Valken-made products, which they don't make any upgraded products as far as I know of, so you'd be stuck using stock products, like if you wanted to switch out the grip. So I was like, okay, well, let's just take the whole gearbox out and put it into the body of another M4. I have an all-metal G&G Combat Machine shell just sitting there, an all-metal M4 shell, waiting for a gearbox. So I was like, let's take the gearbox out of this and put it in that. And problem solved. Motor issue no longer a thing. Well, because of the ambidextrous design, they have their own version of it. It's not a universal gearbox. You could probably throw a different gearbox in here. I have yet to try it. But you can't throw this gearbox in another receiver. If you attempt to throw this gearbox in another receiver, you're going to be met with fitment issues. The ambidextrous side, the other side of the selector switch, isn't going to let you slide it in and have it sit center. I couldn't just rebuild this gun into another receiver. All of those things happening, it really discouraged me from this gun and recommending the Valken series of M4s to people. It really kept me away from recommending this to beginners or just anybody who wants to buy an M4 for cheap. I would rather you buy something else besides a Valken. And that's just because of the long-term experiences I've had with using this gun and playing this gun. In the long run, was not user-friendly, and it fell apart more than other guns. And for the price, you can buy other guns. Like my Matrix Special Edition AK was the exact same MSRP as this Valken, except it's an AK that's all metal and lipo, ready. The trigger contacts are built for lipo currents. Way lighter than the Valken M4 is, and it's an AK, all metal. The only thing that's plastic are the handguards on it, and it's just such a smooth, snappy gun to use for the same price. But it's an AK platform, so if you want an M4, just don't buy a Valken, get a different M4. Another issue with the Valken is the threads on the stock barrel. This is not the stock barrel, obviously. Let me go get the... When I'm bored, I just like to fidget around with my parts to see if I could build a whole nother airsoft gun off of just scrap that I have laying around. So this is the original rail system that comes with the Valken. And the difference between the Valken models are this rail system and the stock system. So they come in different configurations, but I bought like the Mark 18 style one because, classic M4A1. I was just screwing around, so I threw it on the metal body I was talking about earlier that the Valken gearbox does not fit in. Just to see if I would like this style. This is technically lighter than the metal barrel. The metal barrel kind of has a classic Iraq M4 look, but this is like a Mark 18 style. I'm still playing around if I want to use this for my rebuild or use the stock metal barrel. People will tell me the metal barrel, the issue is the full metal barrel, like classic M4 style, it's like this much longer, and for CQB play it's kind of a pain in the ass to deal with. However, what I wanted to talk about is the threads. These are the original threads that came on the Valken. Are stripped straight from pulling off not the flash hider. Believe it or not, the extended piece that has like a classic style thing that you can take the flash hider off to reveal threads, but you can also unscrew the barrel because the barrel actually only comes up to here, but it gives you a whole extra thing with the flash hider just for, I don't know, LARP. But you could take that extended piece off, and I did that to reveal these threads, but when I did, I went to put a tracer on it, and the tracer didn't fit. The threads are all yoked. So I had to throw electrical tape around the threads with the tracer unit to get it to stay on for all of my games. But yeah, this kind of feels good. Again, we have the thread issues, but I could always rethread it at a later time when I go to rebuild this gun, so I might keep this barrel on and rethread it just for the sake of the MK Airsoft CQB field. That is why I do not suggest buying any type of Valken, because not just me, but my friends who have bought the other models they have manufactured, like the Romeo, for example, which is the CQB style M4. They've opened it right out of the box. The hop-up is bad. Just a lot of horror stories of them just breaking. Don't buy a Valken. That was the review portion of this video. Now we're going to talk about this, the way I built it out. So I've been talking about this for a while. In my Airsoft collection video, I showed off the M16 barrel. The receiver is busted, but I took the stock from it and the barrel and threw it on the body, because I figured I won't be using a full-size M16 anytime soon because my local field is, again, CQB. I could put this on the Valken and finish off its lifespan with the whole M16 build. And I went for, like, as you can tell, like a classic style Iraq, Afghanistan infantry build. We got the digital ACU here going on. We got the little rail covers. We got the PEC 15. The classic style iron sight still on. You know, mock suppressor, not a tracer unit, just a tube. And this optic, which I wanted to throw an ACOG on this, but I don't have the money to buy an ACOG, even a fake ACOG. Well, obviously a fake ACOG. I'm not going to buy a real ACOG for airsoft. That'd be stupid. Buying a mock ACOG for airsoft, I don't have the money for, so this was the closest I could get to having an ACOG on my Afghan-Iraq war build M4. And it's pretty cool, because the reticles it comes with, you probably won't be able to see. But you could change the reticles on this specific optics. This is a $20 Firefield tube style red dot, but you can change the color and you could change the reticle of the optic. And I have it set to like the classic EOTech reticle. So it's got the EOTech reticle with the PEC box, you know, because you need a flashlight when playing, and that was with the cover on. This is actually a very, for like a cheap like airsoft PEC, fake airsoft PEC, this is pretty bright. You'll see in the gameplay it like lights up the whole field. Look at that, lighting up the room. It's pretty dope. It's a sick build. I actually really like the build, and I just can't stop looking at it. This is like I don't want to say it's my favorite, but it's like my favorite. I always pick this up more than the other airsoft guns, and just kind of like, you know, when no one's around by myself, I catch myself in the mirror just playing with it, and it's just so cool. So I threw the longer barrel into it, and I threw in the stock, and I actually took it to the field, and surprisingly, I'm saying "and" a lot this video, surprisingly it's very easy to use on CQB. You know, if I run around a corner, it's just going to be like this, which is goofy, but it's airsoft, who cares? You know, I tried to do some corner clearing where I would clear rooms where I keep it like I would actually be using a real rifle. You know, it's just so tight. This was the build we came up to with it. I originally had the bipod grip on here, but I figured for the actual gameplay it would be a lot more versatile to use the stubby grip. Especially like when we're transitioning. I know there's one time where I'm peeking left, holding the grip the other way. I'm going to use this gun like this till I burn it out. And then I know I said that I don't recommend buying the Valken series of airsoft guns, but I am going to buy another one of these Valkens at some point in the flat dark earth, just so I have the flat dark earth body and I can use it as a loaner gun when I have friends, because I do have a lot of guns to play with and a lot of loaner guns, but not all of them are M4s, and I have mags, M4 mags are the most mags I have. You know, it's a brain speed thing. Look at me on the cover of Modern Warfare 2! Enough yapping and reviewing the gun and talking about my cool Frankenstein M16 build. Let's get to some gameplay footage. This is how the gun plays 3 years later. What's up?
Is this a tracer?
No, not for this gun. This is like just a tube that I like kind of, because the barrel actually goes to here. So I just kind of flipped the tube around and then threaded the tube on there.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah. If I put a tracer on, it'd be like too long.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like...
That's crazy, it's that long.
Yeah, man, it's an M16.
Yeah,
or at least the barrel's an M16 barrel.
What's the electrical tape on it for?
Just to like stop some of the wobble, because like without it, the rail kind of
not quite snug.
Wiggles a little bit, yeah. Yeah, see, that's all barrel.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh yeah.
I had my safety on the whole time. There's a dude behind the barracks buildings. Good hit. Ooh, big long gun. I feel like I'm spawn camping them with that one. To give them some breathing room, I was right on their spawn. You're good.
Whoa! Left and right. Coming through. You got that, all right?
Yeah, they're hella pinned down no matter which way they go. That's pretty much their spawn. You're good. I know, they're so pinned, no matter which way they go. I'm just gonna chill on the castle and snipe. They literally have nowhere to go. We're watching every angle for them to leave. Are they down by White House?
They're down there, yeah.
This is the easiest match in my life. This is the only way they can go. Word. We're gonna drop back to our dark sniping position. GG! Man, this thing's a workout. Probably has to weigh at least 20 pounds. The Tactical Milsim M16 build.
Why have the iron still on?
Just cuz.
Is that your answer for everything?
Yeah, it looks cool. Plus, if this dies, I can still use the irons.
She's calling me. She's calling me. Yeah, this shouldn't be bad.
Somebody want to take over? Good hit! It's so funny not using tracers because, like, when I get a kill, I'm not expecting it. Hurry, 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 hurry. I think I got him.
Who are you shooting at?
There's a dude right over by the brick wall. You're good. This army crawled across the window so I could peek this. Nice. Fucking sniped him. Despite its shortcomings, it's got some range. Oh, come on, bro. There we go. Ooh, that gear did not turn all the way. Clear. Nice. They pushed to that. Get it, get it! Woo! That doesn't sound good. So yeah, that's the Valken rifle gun thing. Don't buy Valken ever. If you're thinking about buying an M4, get a different brand. If you're a beginner and thinking about buying an M4, get a different brand. Valken makes excellent products when it comes to eye protection, batteries, barrel covers. They even make optics. Their optics are really cool. They actually make a fake mock ACOG style optic. It's not a zoom, it's just a red dot, but it would look cool on this build. It would complete the build. Valken does make great products. They just don't specialize in guns. That's not the main focus of their company. At least that's my impression, considering they only have a few models of guns out. And if that is their intention, oh boy, Valken, you need to look in the mirror and reflect on what the fuck you doing. And what the hell you doing. Because this ain't it, Chief. I mean, it looks cool, but that's because I made it look cool, and I know how to work on a gun, and not everybody knows how to work on a gun, and even if you are capable of working on the gun, not everybody wants to work on their airsoft gun. They just want to put BBs in the magazine, go to the field, and play. And this is not going to be a good time if that's what you're trying to accomplish. This gun will break on you. It will fall apart. Don't buy the Valken guns. So, like and subscribe, or else... I don't know where I was going with that. So, yeah, like and subscribe, or else the Valken is gonna come in your dreams, and it's going to break and ruin your airsoft dreams, and then you'll be crying a lot because you're just a baby and you just wanted to shoot your friends with plastic guns and the gun broke, and now you're up in the reviews talking about how terrible the gun is. Yeah, goodbye guys. God, this looks so cool with the lighting of the room. I can't get over it. Ah!